Erica,
And I'm Casey,
and
and we're
we're
the
the
Magic
Magic
Making
Making
Mamas.
Mamas. So today we have some talk about vacation trips that we are taking and that we have taken. So we are so excited because I'm definitely going, and Casey is more than likely going to Disneyland in less than 2 weeks. We'd actually be getting back in 2 weeks. So it is so soon.
It's very
Just
quick.
so excited. So we are going, yeah, like he said, like it's a very quick trip. We just kind of want to like see all the Halloween stuff and like get some information for you guys, and we want to grow this thing. So we're trying to get out there and take it seriously and jump in.
So I've never been to Disneyland, so this is like a whole new thing for me, and I'm super excited, especially to be going with you.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it's the best. So I've gone twice, and the first time I went, it was one day and we did both parks, and it is smaller than Disney World because there's only 2 parks, but like those 2 parks are pretty hefty. Like their Disneyland's like Magic Kingdom and their DCA is like like a big Hollywood Studios. And so we had done one day, and it was me, Clay, just Orson. He was the only one around at the time. He was 9 months old. My mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. So there was a lot of us, and like we somehow managed to get a lot done. And I didn't think that I would like it so much because like everyone goes to Disney World. There's 4 parks. They have the bigger, better castle for sure.
Yes.
But I fell in love with Disneyland. Like I'm tempted to say I like it better than Disney World. And I know.
You're being judged. I'm judging you for that.
I know. And I'm okay with that. Like I want to maybe like one day maybe while we're there, like I want to show you why. And like maybe we can make a video about that because it is just so cool. And because of that, like when we moved to Colorado, we were closer, and it would be a long drive, but flights are so cheap. So there was just one weekend, it was like maybe a month or so in advance. I was like, you know what? I just want to go again. Like I need to get out of this house. We were in a tiny rental. I was miserable. We were trying to get pregnant. So that was like kind of hard. It was just like, I needed the mental health break.
Yeah.
Kind of like we've been talking about. And it was cheap. Like the weekend we went was the opening weekend of all the Christmas decorations, and it was cheap. Like there wasn't a lot of people there yet because most people wait to go. Yeah. So, we took Orson, and he was 1.5 years, and I just fell in love with it again. And like, I love it so much. And I'm so excited about getting to show you Disneyland.
I'm excited.
Look at this. Look at this.
Why did I think the first time you went, you were pregnant with Orson? Did you go to Disney World when you were pregnant?
Yeah, I was pregnant with Orson when I went to Disney World. And actually, when the last time we went to Disneyland, I was pregnant with Maven, didn't know it yet. Like I was days pregnant and just didn't know it yet. And I had a feel like we were trying. So like I had a feeling it could have been, and it was definitely a possibility, but I didn't know. Like it was way too early to know.
That's awesome.
So I better not be pregnant this time when I go, because apparently Disney does that to me.
Oh my goodness. That's so funny. I love it. I'm excited though. I'm excited to go and see Disneyland. I cannot believe that you said you almost like it better than Disney World, potentially.
I mean, it's smaller, and that's one reason I love it, but also it's missing like Animal Kingdom and Epcot. So like, if those aren't your favorite parks.
Yeah, I could totally do without Animal Kingdom. And I'm not a drinker. So for me, when I go to Epcot, I'm eating around the world.
Yeah.
That's all that I really care for.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part of Epcot for sure, is the food. And if you do drink, the drinks are great too. But if not, the food is worth it.
Okay, so Disneyland edition, what is your favorite ride?
Okay. I have 2.
No. You can't do the Halloween stuff. I already know that's coming. No Halloween overlay stuff.
Even without the overlay, my favorite ride of all time, both parks, is Haunted Mansion. I just love it. Wait, what? How do they differ?
Yeah. How does the one from Disneyland differ from Disney World?
So it's in New Orleans Square in Disneyland, which Disney World doesn't have. So it being from the New Orleans area, like that style of mansion is just like gorgeous, and the way they have it set up outside, like the queue is more beautiful. Not that the other one isn't, it's just different. It's more like homey.
Yeah.
And the ride itself, like, this is just one character, but like they have the Hatbox Ghost, and he's so cool. And they have a few different scenes that are a little bit different. It's almost more like, I feel like on Haunted Mansion and both rides, you're very close to everything, but I don't know, something about the one at Disneyland, I felt closer, and maybe I have only gone on the overlay. So maybe that's why, like, maybe there's just more stuff, but I don't know. I love it. But if I had to cross that out, my favorite ride, like thrill ride, is the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. And they do have an overlay for that I haven't seen yet. It'll be there when we go. I think it's Monsters After Dark. But just by itself, it's like what replaced Tower of Terror, which I have never ridden. So maybe I would like Tower of Terror better. I don't know. But I love it because it's a thrill ride, but also they are blaring the soundtrack while you're riding the ride. And there's a storyline too.
Yeah.
But that is one of my all-time favorite movie soundtracks. And so to have it like
yeah. I feel like that's got a really good soundtrack to it. And I kind of feel like the music like gets you in the mood. Just at Disney World with Rock and Roller Coaster, like when you hear that music come on, you are just like all in.
Yes, especially when you're in line and you're like so close to getting on Rock and Roller Coaster, and like you just hear the music and it's like you get like chills.
Goosebumps. Yeah. I get so excited. I literally feel like I am there in the concert. Like just, oh, I love it. There's like no other feeling. The adrenaline just, it's the best.
Yes, exactly. I think you're gonna like that ride a lot because you like Tower of Terror, right?
I love Tower of Terror.
Yeah, I thought
like
so.
My fave.
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
Now, I don't know if you watch on Disney Plus Behind the Attraction, but
Not
they
yet.
have, it's based off of like Disneyland and not Disney World.
Oh, okay.
The Haunted Mansion is actually dug down into the ground, and it's like kind of far away from where the mansion actually is. So you're not going through the mansion. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think you told me that the other day and I forgot that you told me that. That is really cool. Like you don't feel like it because you're in that stretching room. And you just, you think you're on a stretching room, or like, when you know about it, you think you're just on an elevator, which I guess you are, but I didn't realize that. That's really cool.
It is.
I wonder what's in the mansion.
I don't know. I think they said something about like maybe it's not as big as it looks or something like that. Maybe
not.
But
maybe it's just like a facade.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So
I'll have to watch it. I love that kind of stuff.
Now, in regards to snacks at Disneyland, do they differ from Disney World?
Yes and no. They have all the main ones. And like you and I were talking about this the other day, like everyone talks about the main ones. And whenever they sell the merch, they have all the main ones. But it's like, is that really what people get? Like when you watch all these YouTubers and stuff, that's not what they're eating. Like, do people really get it? Is it really worth it? They do have all those things. Supposedly their churros are better. Their churros are really good. They get a ton of different flavors throughout both parks, which is really fun to like go try all the different ones. I don't think they get as many flavors at Disney World, and supposedly they just aren't as good, but I can't speak to that because I can't tell you the last time I've had a churro at Disney World. So I can't really compare it.
So I know that we had already discussed this about the plastic cheese.
Yes.
So at Disney World, and my husband laughs at me all the time because there is the nasty cheese and then there's like the good cheese. And the good cheese comes in like a little cup that they put like a little plastic lid on. It looks like it had come out of like a nacho cheese machine.
Yes, that's the plastic cheese.
That's the good cheese.
Yeah.
The nasty cheese is like already pre-packaged where you gotta like rip off this top. It's absolutely horrible. It's disgusting. I don't know how people eat it.
That sounds gross.
It's awful. So just like the whole cheese situation, there's like a debacle with the churros, okay? Because the churros that you can go buy at a stand are not the churros that you would buy in Epcot at the Mexico quick service. They're totally different. They're kind of like I don't know. They're
like bent, aren't they? Like a loop almost? Yeah.
Kind of like bent. And then they used to serve them when we just went to Disney World on our trip. They now serve them with like a chocolate sauce, but they used to serve them with this amazing caramel sauce. It wasn't too thick and it wasn't too thin. And those churros were just like, oh my God, they're the best. They are my favorite.
That Sounds
Any
good.
other churro throughout Disney World just doesn't hold the candle to this churro.
You're gonna have to try Disneyland. Like again, I can't compare, but
Yeah.
all the ones I had at Disneyland were good. And since we're gonna be there during like a holiday season, they're gonna have all the crazy flavors, which sometimes that's not great, but they are really good. I don't personally understand churros and chocolate sauce. Like I like chocolate and chocolate sauce, but I don't understand that. Like I would rather a caramel or like even an icing or like even plain. I don't get the
Yeah.
chocolate sauce thing.
I could
Not
do
at all.
icing. That sounds pretty good. Like
How do you feel about corn?
corn?
Yeah.
Corn? Why
Okay.
corn?
So near Cars Land, in DCA, they have a corn and turkey leg cart. No,
Ooh.
thank you to turkey legs. I don't know how you feel about them. Oh my God.
Erica,
No
I
turkey
am
legs.
literally appalled that that just came out of your mouth. My feelings are hurt just a little bit.
Okay, well, sorry. Just ignore that I said that.
So good. What, have you tried them?
Yeah, it has been a long time, and it was at Disney World last time I had them. I just remember being dry and like not good meat. Maybe I just didn't have a good one.
Yeah,
But
you
I
did have a good one.
remember I was like 9. I think I've had it since then, but I just specifically remember going with like my grandma and grandpa, and my parents weren't with us, but like my cousins and my aunt and uncle were, and my uncle like lived for the turkey legs. And I was like, I don't know, I don't get it. Anyway, they have a cart with that and corn. And what you do is you get the corn, it's on the cob, it's very warm, it is so good. And you go around the side of it and you put Parmesan cheese and tahini on it.
Okay, I've never had tahine. I hear amazing things about it, but I'm all up for the cheese.
Even if you just want the cheese, it's so good because it comes buttery. Like the corn is like buttery, so it sticks to it. And the tahini is like a soury citrus. I don't like sour, but it's like a citrusy spice, so it has like a little bit of a tang to it. If you like tangy stuff, it is so good. It's like one of the snacks I feel like it's just at a snack cart, but no one talks about. It's
I don't
so
think I've ever been so excited for corn on the cob.
right. When you come in, maybe the night you come up here, I can convince Clay to grill some corn. He makes a mean Mexican corn on the grill, probably
Ooh.
better than Disneyland. So
Okay.
anyway,
I'm
um,
excited. Corn, cheese, churros, all the snacks.
no, I just want to eat. Like that's really the best part of going anywhere is just the food.
100%. Every single time we plan a trip to Disney World, I always make a list of like all of the top places, like all of the, just like you said, all of the snacks that people post that are very popular. I make a list just so that way I can see, like, is it worth the hype?
Yeah,
So,
I know it's hard. I mean, I guess with anything you have to have your own judgment, but then it's like, how do these specific snacks get that much attention if they're not that great? I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know. I'm excited though. I like really hope. The reason we say that like I'm definitely going and you are probably going is because everything's in the works for you. But we're
Yes.
just waiting on a couple of things to like fall in place. But we're putting all the
Kids.
good energy in the world and it's gonna fall in place and you're gonna come.
I sure as heck hope so. I need this. I need like a mental health reset because I'm a stay-at-home mom. So I'm with my
That's
kids
right.
24/7 and no real break. So
Yeah, you do need it like big time. So I guess that's something that we've been talking about is like the importance of just taking the trip. Like there are a million reasons why you might not want to take a trip or you feel like you can't take a trip and putting money aside because like obviously we want to promote being financially responsible. But there are like a million other excuses to not go on a trip. But you were recently in a situation where you had to make a decision to just take the trip.
yes.
Do you want to talk about it?
So my husband and I had a trip planned to Disney World for us and our kids. And it was going to be for Steven's birthday, his second birthday. This is his first time ever going to Disney World. We did take Oliver one other time when he was 18 months old for literally like less than 8 hours in the park.
Like a
So our trip was planned for September 4th through September 11th. And literally the week before we were supposed to leave, we were preparing for a category 4 hurricane Ida. And we decided we are going to go ahead. I know we're going to go ahead and stay home because we had our trip coming up. We didn't want like any other extra expenses of like evacuating. That probably sounds really irresponsible, but like,
Well, to people who live in that area, like
yeah,
we get it. Other people
we're
don't
used
judge
to
who
it.
haven't lived it.
Yeah. So, and like we were really focusing on like doubling down on finances with getting ready to leave. So we're like, you know what, we're just going to stay. So we stayed, we rode out the hurricane, which never again will I do. I feel like when we're kids and our parents have to worry about it, it's a totally different story than having kids and having to worry about it.
Yeah, I
So
think so.
we stayed. The next morning we got up and we were sitting out in the driveway with no electricity or anything, watching the kids play. And we're getting like a little bit of a breeze. And we're like, okay, we can do this. Like, we'll keep the windows open, we'll be cool. It didn't last. Literally, it was 4 o'clock in the evening. And my husband and I just looked at each other after the kids like screaming and crying that they're hot and cold showers. And we're like, we can't do this. Like, these kids cannot do this. We can't stay. So we had to make the hard decision of, do we push back our trip again, or do we just go ahead and take the trip? So we took the trip. I called Disney and they were absolutely great about it. We had Boo Bash tickets that needed to be refunded, and those are non-refundable tickets. But being in Florida with hurricane season, they understood. So they
Mhm.
were so nice. They refunded everything. And then normally, if you downgrade your package, you have to pay like a $50 fee. Well, they waived that fee. And we ended up having to shorten our trip, which not a big deal, but we took the trip. And honestly, it was so stressful thinking about having to leave because we had bought plane tickets, we were going to fly. Now suddenly we're having to drive with a one almost 2 year old and then a 3.5 year old for over 10 hours.
Yeah,
That's rough.
a lot.
So I packed up a suitcase in the dark with a little bitty flashlight and we left, and we stayed overnight in Milton, Florida, and got a little bit of rest. And then we finished up the drive the next day. And I'm happy that we took it because even though it wasn't perfect, in the sense of I had spent so many months preparing matching shirts, where we were going to eat. I had all of our reservations, like all of these things that were to make my trip perfect. It didn't matter anymore. What mattered was that I was there with my family. We went from a not so fantastic situation to being in Disney and just being together as a family. We were all safe. Our house was fine. So it
That's
ended up being
awesome.
great.
I'm so glad that y'all wound up going.
Me too. It was it was stressful with the kids after a few days because we had built in like rest days, which I have never done before. Now I know why people build in
Forever.
rest days with kids. Do it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I haven't gone with my kids yet, but I can imagine that it would be a necessity. Like I would just remember, I don't remember going when I was really little having rest days built in, but I remember like going as I was older, and like even as I was older, my parents would build in a rest day. Like, and they're like, if we're gonna stay at this resort with this really cool pool, like we should use it.
Yeah. Well, see, like me and Justin have always been like rope drop to like shutting down the park. And so I've never done rest days. I've never utilized the pools, nothing like that. And so when it came to bringing our kids, I thought like I would be upset having to take a rest day.
Yeah,
Honey, I think I needed the rest day more than they did.
probably.
It was rough for for a hot minute.
Kids just suck it right out of us. I remember, so I'm a teacher. You know that. I don't know if other people know that. And I think it was at work that it was the end of the day, and one of my coworkers was like, God, I wish I had some of that energy. I'm like, yeah, well, they just sucked it straight from us. And she was like, oh yeah, I guess that's where they get it. And same with like all kids, they just suck it straight out of us,
They really do. Oh
even in the
man.
best ways, but
Absolutely.
a lot. But I don't know. Okay. I hope you can go. And I want to talk about your favorite Disney World ride and see if I can like think of a comparison. Either they have the same ride at Disneyland, or not to maybe there's something that compares.
Okay, so we're doing overall, like all of Disney World,
All of
right?
Disney
We're
World.
not
Yes.
separating into parks. Okay. I want to say so badly Haunted Mansion because I love like the vibe. I like the spookiness. I'm such a little like weenie. I don't like anything scary. And so like it's not scary, but it kind of like gives off like that little spookiness to it, you
Yeah.
know?
Spoopy.
But yes. But I love the adrenaline junkie like rides. Those are my favorite. So I'm going to have to go with probably Tower of Terror.
Okay, then you're just gonna love Disneyland so much because they have both of those. So it's gonna be great.
I cannot wait.
You're gonna be the best park partner. Casey and I, we've never been together, like even as kids, right?
Wow.
No, we've never been together. And
We've
we
only
both
done like Jazzland together.
yeah, oh my gosh. I think one of my friends from, I guess I've known him since middle school. So I don't know, somehow we got on the topic of it and he said something about Jazzland. And I'm like, those were the days you got a season pass, a year-long pass for like 50 something bucks. Not that I had to pay for it, like my parents said we were young, but that was like it turned into a Six Flags park. Like it was a good theme park and it
Yeah.
was the only one in the area. Can you
Yeah.
imagine?
Till good old Katrina.
Freaking Katrina. I want to go see it now, all like in its doom. And I never rode Zephyr. And I remember we went to, like you said, we
Yes,
went to
you
Jazzland all the
did.
time. Huh?
Yo, yeah, you
No, I
did.
never went. No,
Yes,
I
you
never got on it. Are you sure?
Yes. I forgot who it was that we had with us. Someone from like,
Stephanie?
it might have been Stephanie, but like we had all said that we were going to go and ride and get on. And then like we hopped on and then we were going to pretend to close ours and wait for you to close yours. And then I was going to get off because, or no, I was cool with going. That's what it
I
was.
remember you
But
liking
then we
it.
wouldn't let you off and you were like
I kind of
petrified
maybe
because
I
you
did
didn't like
then.
roller coasters back then.
No, and now I love them. I must have blocked that out. I must have been traumatized and blocked it
I
out.
think you're definitely traumatized because we got you to ride it and you were so mad.
I could totally see that happening. Okay, that makes sense. Well, so another thrill ride. I'm sorry, were you done talking about Disney World? I totally like
Yeah,
switched it back to
no,
Disneyland.
we're good.
Okay.
Disneyland.
So they have the Incredicoaster, and that's like a wooden coaster, and that's like what Zephyr was, a wooden coaster. And I think that for some reason freaks me out more than the fact that it was a roller coaster, because everyone gets off and talks about like how rough it is and how it throws you around and it hurts. And I
Yeah.
think that's what I was mostly scared of. And so I like what I mean, I didn't go to a credit coaster since until I was like 20 something years old. So I wasn't scared of it. But I like had this like feeling of like, oh guys, it's gonna be like Zephyr. Like it can't be. It's Disney World, Disneyland. Like it can't be that rough.
Yeah.
But it's not. And it's so cool because you smell cookies, like Jack's cookies at some point. Yeah, like they
Num
put out
nums. Oh my God.
yeah,
Please tell me that they have that snack in the park.
they do right next to it. They
I'm
have like a
so-
whole little area of like well, it's at Pixar Pier. So they have like all the little Pixar treats, and they do have Jack's cookie num nums, and they have like the frozen yellow snow from the Abominable Snowman. What movie is he from? I cannot remember what movie he's from.
Not Littlefoot, right?
No, now I gotta Google it. Anyway, I feel like I should know that.
Okay.
But we didn't try any of that when we went. Like it was such a rush. Even when we went a couple years ago when we had Orson, it was like a day and a half, I think, that we had.
Well, even though we're going for a short trip, we are going to make it memorable. We are going to be there from park open till park close.
Yes.
We're going to be doing it's downtown Disney there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, he's from Monsters Inc. Speaking of that, did you see the Monsters Inc. Adidas?
No.
They put out a bunch of different ones, and they have shoes that look like Boo's door. I know, I need them. I sent them to Clay, and he was like, he thought they were for me because they're like, they look kind of little girlish. It's like her door. And he was like, $130, I think it was, for toddler shoes. No. And I was like, well, they're for me. And they're actually kid size, but you can use their chart to like convert it to women's. I'm like, I need them. Okay, anyway, so
That's cute.
that's another thing that I like about Disneyland is they have Pixar Pier, so it's just Pixar stuff. And they have Lamplight Lounge. Have you looked into that.
I literally know nothing. The only thing that I do know from watching a video is that why can't I even think of the name? The little thing that goes in the circle with Mickey Mouse on it.
Oh, Mickey's Fun Wheel or something like that.
Yeah, but
Ferris
it
wheel.
like legit, like they
Like
have
you
ones that like,
slide.
yes.
And some of them don't, but
I'm
we
so
didn't go on that.
excited.
And
That is
I
the
really want to.
only thing that I know exists at that
Oh my
park,
gosh.
besides like the small
That's
things that you
exciting.
and I have talked about. And
Yeah.
then I know that they just opened up Avengers Campus, but I know nothing about it. I don't know exactly what it is, what you can do. So my question to you is, since you're talking about it, what is Pixar Pier? Is it almost like Adventureland and Fantasyland, like a like little park within a
It's a
park?
little, yes, that's the really cool thing about DCA is pretty much every part there is its own little hub like that. But Pixar Pier is a little bit different. It is its own area, but there's like water. And so when you walk up to it, it goes around the water. So there's like I guess you would call it a pond.
Mhm.
Um, and so like here's like Lamplight Lounge, and they have like some of the snacks and stuff. And then you keep going a little bit, and they have Incredicoaster, and like right underneath it, like when you are in line for the Inside Out ride, you are surrounded by the Incredicoaster. It's really cool. And so they have an Inside Out ride, and then you just keep going, and there's some not Pixar parts to it, like Goofy Sky School and stuff I think is over there. But it's just almost like their little Epcot, but not, only in the sense that it goes around water. It's not as big, and it doesn't have all the countries and food and stuff, but it's just like this really cool little area. And then the other parts, they have like the Cars Land.
Mhm.
I really hope we can be on the strip in Cars Land at sunset, because that is when they start turning on the neon lights, and it just like trickles from the end all the way up the street as the lights come on, like one by one, and they like flicker on. And
That's
oh my
cool.
gosh. And like just Cars Land, you can probably tell as much I love this place. Cars Land, they have like, instead of Test Track, they have oh my gosh, what is it called? Radiator Springs Racers, I think. And
Gotcha.
the all the rocks and stuff that they have in Radiator Springs, like that's what it looks like. And it's just at the end of the strip, and they have like the lights on it, and it is just beautiful. Like,
Please tell me they have the Cozy Cone Hotel
yes,
or motel.
they do. They have a
Excited.
little area of the Cozy Cone Motel, but in a lot of them are snacks. And so right now for Halloween, they have one. I think it's like a cake. I haven't looked a lot into it. I just like saw it on a quick post, but it was like, I think a cake, but they have like a Halloween type face on it. I
Mhm.
think most of the cones are decorated that way, but you can get a snack that looks like that, and it's like filled with chocolate mousse or something like that. And I know, I'm just so
I
excited.
feel like I'm really excited for this because it's something new, but also I feel like I've never really given Disneyland like a thought because
Yeah.
I always figured like, oh, it's so much smaller. There's probably nothing to do there. It's probably, some of just like the more, I guess, famous rides that like Disney
Yeah,
World
the
would have.
slow.
Yeah. So hearing you like talk about it like makes me really excited because they don't have that stuff at Disney World, like Cozy Cone and Cars Land and
An Avengers campus. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Yeah,
yeah,
I think growing up in Southeast Louisiana, you're so close to Florida. And
yeah,
so if you're gonna go there. You're
yeah.
like, why not?
Hmm.
And so I always had that thought too. Like Disneyland is more of a local park. Like most people that go there are locals.
Hmm.
Obviously, people travel there too, like we're going to, but it's more of a local park, kind of like Jazzland was to us.
Yeah.
And so that is something I would say makes me not like it as much. I have two complaints about Disneyland. One of them, the castle is a freaking joke. The other one, although there is a cool little walkthrough, another one is the cast members aren't as friendly. And I think I remember you kind of telling me that about like your Disney World trip, like something seemed off, because
Yeah.
Disney World is usually so like, I mean, everyone is magical there.
Yeah.
And so hopefully, like when you went, hopefully that's not happening at Disney World and that was just like an off time. But
Yeah.
at Disneyland, that's kind of what we noticed. Like, I don't think we had anyone ever be outright rude to us, but it wasn't the same. Like you just felt like you were at a Jazzland or like a local park. You still felt the magic, but not necessarily from all the cast members. And I hate to say that because I love cast members and like they're a huge part of Disney. And again, like no one was outright rude. but I would say they're a little less magical in general, at least in our experience last time we went. So that in the castle, honestly, like, they don't have Animal Kingdom and Epcot, and those are, I know you don't love Animal Kingdom, but those are like two favorite parks. So for me to still love Disneyland, even though they don't have those, like that says a lot.
I'm excited. I really am.
Yay.
So you have a reservation set up for us to have breakfast with princesses. So what is this called? Where is it about? I mean, what is it about and where does it take place?
So it's at Napa. At that is also at Grand Californian. So they have Storytellers Cafe, which we can talk about in a minute because we also have a reservation there. And then Napa Rose, I want to say it's called. Yeah, Napa Rose. And they have a Disney Princess breakfast. And so it's a character breakfast and it's still modified because of
COVID.
the stuff going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still modified, but they still have the princesses. And like, I think if you are a kid and you're going, you get like a princess autograph book. And then if you're an adult, I don't know what the latest thing is, but I saw a while back they were giving like beautiful like picture frames out to the adults. So you get that, and it's like you get one glass of like sparkling wine, and you can have them make it into a mimosa. And then it's like a buffet, or no, it's not even a buffet. It's a prefix menu, and so they bring you like courses of all kinds of stuff that looks really good, and like a desserts included, and anything you don't eat you can bring with you. And you're supposed to have princess interactions, which I guess if it's anything like the other character interactions right now, it's just kind of like at a distance, like they might stop in the background and like wave to you and stuff. Which makes me like, I kind of wish, since that's the case for all these character breakfasts and things, that they would lower the price a little bit, because the biggest part of doing that is usually the interactions.
Yeah.
But I just like, I don't know, like I'm still 6 years old and I love princesses. I have my princess bow thing on. There's Tiana.
It's so cute. You did a good job making
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. I have some like work to do, but you can't tell right now. I don't know. I just like really wanted to do it. And I think that it would be good to know in the future, like, okay, if it's this good right now, like when we actually do get to interact with them again and Maeve is older, like to be able to bring her, and Orson like loves Ariel. So like and Moana, I don't know that Moana is part of it. I think they have the classic princesses, but anyway, I'm just like, that's like the bougie thing, the one big bougie thing, because it's expensive.
Yes.
But I'm hoping it'll be worth it.
Yay.
Yes.
Okay, so you have one more reservation set up, right?
Yeah, well, I have two. I got one. I snagged one that I don't think I've even told you yet. So Storytellers is the other one. And Storytellers Cafe is in Grand Californian, almost said Floridian. Grand Californian. It's character. They wear like the California, I don't want to say Californian outfits. It's more like the woodsy outfits. And it's Chip and Dale, Minnie, Mickey, and I feel like there's one more. And we had breakfast there when we went, and the food was really good. It's a buffet, but it was a good buffet. And the characters, it was before this COVID, so they were like stopping at our table, like hugging on Orson, like really, really good. And I've just read a lot about it since, like apparently the place is small. It's really not that big. So even if the characters can't come up to you, they're still close to you. And so you could like take pictures with them in the background. And they did, I don't know if they're doing it right now, but they did a little thing where they would like give you maracas, and you would do like a second line almost through the thing with the kids. And like, so I carried, or usually just the kids go, but I carried Orson. And this time the reservations for dinner, and the menu looks really good. And I'm so hesitant about buffets, but I just have a lot of hope because it's going to be like, the breakfast was so good. So hopefully the dinner will be as good.
Yeah.
We'll see. So that's really fun. And Grand Californian, which I'm so excited to like just be in its presence again. And then the other one is I snagged a Lamplight Lounge for brunch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, menu?
What?
What's on the menu for Lamplight Lounge?
So for brunch, it's a mix of like some breakfast stuff and lunch stuff. One of the things that they have is like, I want to say like a lobster nacho or something. Like, I think that's one of the big things, but they also have like a French toast, and they have, let me see if I can pull it up, because the brunch like combines some from each. But you can sit out on the patio overlooking the water. And the
Ooh.
inside is themed so cool because it's almost like art of animation where it has like all the drawings and stuff all over the place. And it's just like all about the Pixar process, I guess. And it's really cool. And right across the street, they have like this little gift shop that sells like the Luxo balls and stuff. Not that like I need a Luxo ball, but it's just like the theming is so cool and it's hard to get a reservation there. So I'm hoping. Oh, one thing they have that we definitely won't be able to do,
Mhm.
if you have a big party with you, they will randomly select a big party to go into a secret room and you have to like go through a vaulted door and like unlock it, like following all these directions and stuff. And like it's like a private room. And so they're the only way to get it is to be randomly selected, but it's a bigger room and it seats like 13 people. So they only, excuse me, I think they only do it for like big parties. I just typed in Lamplight Lounge and one of the first things on Google is lobster nachos. So apparently like that's the thing to get.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. I'm pulling that up. Okay, what else? Is there anything else you want to know? I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want you to know.
Okay, even though you have never been yet, what is Avengers Campus?
So Avengers Campus is like its own little nook or hub in DCA,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like Star Wars. Well, that's at Disneyland, but same vibe. It has I keep wanting to say Monsters After Dark, but that's a layover. The Guardians of the Galaxy
Mm-hmm.
ride, where it is, they like built around that or like onto that. And so that's part of the Avengers campus. They have that, and they have the only other ride they have right now, I believe, is Web Slingers. And that's something else we have to get a boarding group for.
Yeah, I was about to say, I
So
thought that was like a virtual queue.
yeah, and you can only get that or Star Wars. Like you can't have both at the same time. But a lot of people are saying like you can get one and then get the other later in the day as long as the crowds aren't big. I'm starting to get nervous like about crowds because like all the hotels around there are selling out, and maybe because it's just getting closer. I don't know, but I'm kind of like worried about it. But it seems, just from watching videos, it seems like it's mostly focusing right now on Spider-Man. And maybe I just got that vibe because it's the only ride, but
Mm-hmm.
there seems to be like a lot of Spider-Man stuff. But I did see like some other people walking around. There was like a Doctor Strange show and you can see Loki and stuff, which, oh my God, I hope we
I
see
want to see
Loki.
Loki.
Did you see those ears I sent you with all the, yeah, you did.
I did.
So beautiful. Anyway, that was a side note. You can see other characters and stuff. So I don't know. I'm really excited. Like they have the Pim's place you can eat where everything is like either really tiny or like the mega pretzel. So like
Yeah.
that's based on Ant-Man and the Wasp. So I don't know. The theming is supposed to be really good. And I want to like try to find some of the hidden stuff. Apparently there's like some hidden, you know how they have hidden Mickeys, but they have like some other like hidden little Avengers things that I would love to find. Okay, I found the menu for Lamplight Lounge. They have, I won't read everything because I'm sure that would be boring, but chilaquiles, I can never say that right, but it's basically like a Mexican egg dish. They have French toast, they have a brunch burger, they have crab and potato cakes. Ooh, avocado toast. That's very hipster.
Ugh.
I do like it. Oh my God. So I don't know what that means. Disney check meal. I don't know what that means. Yeah, omelet and quesadilla. So they don't have a ton, but it sounds good.
Yeah.
So that will be for one day, one lunch. And then other than that, like I'm just excited to walk around and eat. I didn't want to overwhelm with reservations and feel like, well, this is like, we're just going to get so full eating at restaurants. Like this is it. The only other restaurant I would like to eat at is Blue Bayou. Do you know what that is?
No.
It is the restaurant that, okay, back it up. Pirates of the Caribbean. They
Okay.
have that ride. Theirs is different. You ride through a Louisiana swamp scene first. As like the first part of the ride. Yes. Cause wait, did you not know about the pirate background in New Orleans?
No.
Yeah, there's a whole pirate alley in New Orleans with a pirate bar and everything. Pirates have like a big presence in New Orleans.
Okay.
So anyway, it goes through there. And the swamp scene you go through is at Blue Bayou Restaurant. So kind of like the Mexican Pavilion restaurant where you sit and it's kind of dim. It's way dimmer at Blue Bayou, but it's dim, and like you have Grand Fiesta Tour that goes by you. It's
Yes.
that, but with Pirates of the Caribbean. And it's so cool because they have like these little fireflies, but it's like little lights on the end of fibers that are like twinkling, and
Oh, that's
it's really pretty. They have a Monte Cristo sandwich that is
oh
so
my, okay, you done sold me. I
okay,
need a
good. Well,
reservation.
there's none right now, but that you can like join on the app. You can like join the walk-up list if you're close enough. So that and Oga's Cantina are like two things that I would love to do if we can. And then if not, there's always next time.
Now, Oga's, is it just like Disney World where it's
Yeah.
basically just drinks?
They have snacks and they have non-alcoholic drinks, but it is based around the drinks.
Okay.
So yeah. I've never been to the Star Wars land in Disney World, but just from like what I mean, it looks from pictures exactly the same, like to a T. So I'm assuming it's the same.
How's the Star Wars ride in Disneyland? Is it any different from what they have at Disney World?
It's the same. Well, so I've never ridden Rise of the Resistance, but I did ride Smuggler's Run, and from what I understand, that's the same too. It's fun. I mean, you've gotten to ride Rise of the Resistance, right? I haven't ridden that yet, so this would be like my first time for that. I'm so excited because well, you said you're not even a Star Wars fan and you liked it. So like
Yeah. I know nothing about Star Wars. I'm not a Star Wars fan. I attempted to watch the movie with Jar Jar and it just aggravated me. So
that
I
was a
was over.
problem. That's where you went wrong.
I know, I know.
He's the most annoying freaking thing on the planet. Cannot stand him.
So
He's like, yeah, but
we
he's a good character. I'm like, no, but he's not.
so we rider switched, me and Justin, and I let him go first. So like my whole thing is I'm gonna let him go first because he has to go through like the standby line, and then I get to go back through
Oh,
the lightning
fast.
lane line. Yeah.
That's
So I heard from him that like the queue is just like awesome. I
okay.
didn't really get to see any of that on the lightning lane side. So
Yeah, you pass it.
yeah, but knowing nothing about Star Wars, Disney totally outdid themselves on Rise of the Resistance.
That's
It
awesome.
was so easy to grab a boarding pass. And
Good.
then it just like at first, I will say this, amazing. And then you get onto what I thought was the ride, and I was like, this is it. This is terrible. And then you get off and you go through a whole nother sequence, and it's just like, okay, there's more. And then you do the real ride, and it's just like totally mind blowing.
Oh my
I
gosh, I
just,
cannot wait.
they really, really, really outdid themselves. I could not believe, I can't believe how much time probably went into that and how much effort
Yeah.
and the money. I don't even want to know how much money that costs.
My brain goes there too, and I wish it didn't. But I mean, with everything, I'm always like, that it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
I wish I had that kind of money. But it's just amazing to think about the Imagineers and their brains, like how
Yeah.
genius these people are. And not only how genius they are, but how these geniuses can like work together. Because I mean, maybe it doesn't go smoothly like we don't see behind the scenes in that sense, but I mean, a lot of things have to go right for such an amazing thing to happen. Even with like Remy's, like that wasn't open yet when y'all went, huh?
No, it was only open if you were like a pass holder. So
Oh,
you
the
got to go and
previews.
do like the preview. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. But even that, like that's not like a thrill ride or something. It has a little bit of new technology, I think.
Mhm.
Well, no, they've used because it has a track list, but I think they've used that before. I think they used it at the other Remy's, duh. Um, but like even that just looks amazing. And I'm like, gosh,
Yeah.
I hope Orson or Maeve grow up with that kind of creative brain and like put it to use like that. Because
Mhm.
it
I mean,
is
it's
just
really weird because, like, you look at the carousel of progress and
yeah,
it's like so like ancient, just
and
everything
amazing,
is
but
ancient.
yes.
And then you do Rise of the Resistance and you're like, wow, technology has come a long, long way. Like, not to spoil anything, but there's like a part with Darth Vader, and I'm like, is that real? Because I'm pretty sure that's real. Like, that's a real person that has to be. Like, they totally outdid themselves. It's insane.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
awesome.
Oh God, I'm so excited just thinking about it.
I can't wait for you to go. And I really, really hope that by the time we go in February, they have started with the virtual queues again, because right now it's on pause. Right now you got to wait in a standby line and it's crazy insane.
Okay,
So,
this is my thought process. I was telling Clay this earlier. October 1st is the 50th celebration starting.
yeah.
They're gonna have an influx of people. I mean, it's known, like everyone's been planning this for a long time. They had the way they worded everything was that it was paused, like you said.
Mhm.
They're either gonna have to bring it back starting with the 50th, or they're gonna roll out Genie and they're gonna make it a lightning lane. Like
It's gonna
that's
be Genie. I guarantee it.
it has to be like. And then so I'm wondering if they do that and if the timing really is for the 50th, if they're going to do it at Disneyland at the same time, and then it'll be there when you and I go.
Mhm.
And it might be worth testing out just because we're not going to be there long,
Mhm.
or even just for one day just to see. But like they said fall, they have this big celebration coming up. It kind of makes sense. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see, but I don't know. I'm just so excited. I like can't stop thinking about how excited I am.
I'm really excited for Disneyland. I hope that everything that needs to work out on my end with getting my kids taken care of works out, because
It will.
this is going to be great.
It really will.
Like doing Disney with your family versus doing Disney with like a friend who is also a colleague for the same travel agency. Like, I feel like that just brings a whole different vibe to it.
I think so too. I think it's going to be a learning curve for us
Yes.
because this is the first time we're really jumping into it from a business perspective. And like, it'll be for me, I feel like it's going to be hard to like discipline myself rather than just like going and having fun. Like,
Yeah.
we have to do business stuff. So it'll be interesting. But like you kind of mentioned, we do have a just for fun trip coming up in
Yeah.
February,
Yeah.
but we are going to, like, at least my plan is to like vlog it because
Mhm.
um well, we're meeting up for one day.
Yes.
And so what happened was that I turned 30, we turned 30, we're 10 days apart. So if you watched our last video, I think we said that then, but we're 10 days apart. And so really we're going for like 4 birthdays if you think about it.
Yeah. Because our sons
Yeah.
are 4 days apart. So
Yes.
we're 10, they're
So
4. How awesome is that?
I know it's crazy. And they were both due on the same day, which was Mardi Gras that year, but neither of them came on Mardi Gras that year. Probably, that's fine. Um, so I wanted to go to Universal for my 30th birthday. I
Mhm.
was talking to my father-in-law about it. He was talking about next time they come up and visit in Colorado. And I was like, I'm going to need someone in February to watch my kids because I really want to go to Universal, like just Clay and I. And he was like, well, I could just maybe just watch them in Orlando. Like we have a friend that has a condo there and blah, blah, blah. Like he's quick. I was like, great. So then that got me thinking like, well, if I'm flying my kids to Orlando and it's really Orson's birthday is 2 days after mine, like we're going to be there near both of our birthdays. We weren't going to go the same weekend originally. Now we are going to be there on both of our birthdays. I started looking into Legoland for Orson. So we're going to do a day at Legoland
Mhm.
to celebrate. And we're going to do a day actually on his birthday is when we're going to meet up with you guys at Just Hollywood Studios.
Yes.
And then my in-laws are going to take our kids and Clay and I are going to go off and do our own thing for Universal. So I am like really excited to experience all of that. It sounds like a big rush, like a lot, but I'm
Yeah.
excited about it. And I'm like mostly excited, other than like the fact of celebrating birthdays, is that we get to like have a day there together. So
Yes.
yeah,
Not just us though, like the
excuse
whole
me,
family is like,
the
it's gonna be
kids.
really nice. The kids are gonna really, really enjoy it.
I think so too. And then we are hoping to do a Riviera breakfast at Topolino's Terrace
Yes.
to celebrate everybody
Yep.
and have characters and just see the Riviera because I haven't seen it yet. Did you get to go over there?
No, we didn't. And I was
I
really
remember
sad
you were
because
going to and something happened.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we wanted to. And then it was just, I think it was just a rough day with the kids because after like 2
Oh
full
yeah.
park days, they were ready.
I
They
bet.
wanted to just get out of the stroller and run around and yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I do remember you saying that now. Well, hopefully this time we won't be too far into the trip and then everything will be fine.
Yeah. We intend on going, I think, the day before. So I think we're going to do Magic Kingdom that day and then do Hollywood Studios with y'all. And I think maybe do Magic Kingdom for our third
Yeah.
day and final day and then fly back home. So we're going to try and do 3 days. We might have to shorten it depending on Justin's job. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Freaking
But
jobs.
I can't wait to pick your brain about Legoland because I've never been there.
I know
And
me.
Universal, girl, it has been well over 15 years since I've been at Universal.
So
So
much has changed.
that's
So much has changed.
another girl's
Oh
business
yeah.
trip.
I went for my 25th birthday. I think that was the last time I went. So I like to celebrate my birthday there. um, and it was fun. Like I remember I have a picture of me, my hair is wet because we went on a water ride and I'm in a tank top because even though it was February, it's Florida.
Yeah.
So it's like you can still do all the stuff, which is great. But yeah, I'm excited to like be able to experience all that, but then like share it too. I'm so excited. I wish this can be like a drinking game. If you're watching this, you can go back to the beginning and you can take a shot every time Erica says, I'm excited, and you're probably toasted before now.
That what was the first one when we tried recording the first video?
Yay.
Like, yay, I say yay a lot.
Yeah. I do. It's kind of weird, but it's okay.
No, it's
I
cute.
said I'm
It's
like
adorable.
6 in my heart. So, well, is there anything else?
I think that's it.
We got a lot out there.
Excited.
I'm so excited too.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. And we will definitely be sharing all of this with all of you guys. So something to do too, of course, like it'll take us a little while to get videos up after the fact, but while we're there, just follow us on Instagram. We'll be adding it to our stories. We're going to put our handles down at the bottom here, but I am at Erica Makes Magic. You are?
I am Casey Take Me to the Castle.
Yay. So did it again. Go ahead and follow us there now. So you're ready. I already went ahead and got like a DCA and a Disneyland highlight ready to go to just add stuff to it. So you should do the same thing. And then like people can just, whenever they're ready, just go follow. Well, yeah. Thank you for joining us and sticking around with us. And we hope to bring you a lot more content. Some will be talking like this. Some will be small shops like we talked about last time. Some will be vlogs. So we look forward to it.
I think when we come back from our trip, we're doing a giveaway.
Yes, we are.
Yes, a gift card giveaway and then something from the parks.
Yes, exactly. And so we'll put all the details when we get back, but basically just be prepared to be following us. So if you already do follow both of us on Instagram and YouTube and join our Facebook group, like you don't have to wait until then to enter. You can do all those things now and you'll automatically be entered. So we'll give you more details, but those are going to be some requirements.
I'm excited.
Me too. Thank you guys for hanging out with us and we'll see you next time.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.